Thank you, Srinathji Prabhu. In fact, many of you must not be knowing that Srinathji Prabhu is not well. And I was surprised to see him. So he said, what to speak of my condition now? Even if I would have been on the operation theatre, I would have come here. So now I would like to request Nartaki Mataji to kindly come forward and make her offering.
Napastaya Bhutale Simate Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyacharya Satarine Vanchakarpa Taruvyashta Kipa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai. I offer my humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. You wanted us to speak about when we had met Radhanath Maharaj for the first time and how he inspires us in our spiritual life. So I wanted to reply to that. First time I came to Vrindavan was in 1984, but at that time I did not meet His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, but I met the leader of the community at that time. And then only 10 years later, in 1994, when I was already living in Sridham, Vrindavan, I was sent by His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj to Bombay under the care of my dear God brother, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, to do some service which later on then actually was not utilized. So I could see that it was actually Krishna's arrangement for me to get the wonderful association of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and his wonderful disciples. So coming back to Vrindavan after this half year of association, I told my god sister Karta Prabhu about Karta Mataji about that I had met Radhanath Maharaj and how wonderful it was, and she told me also that she knew Radhanath Maharaj from New Vrindavan, where she lived for some time, and she was telling me how he was living in the cottage in which Srila Prabhupada, I'm trying to remember properly, in the cottage where Srila Prabhupada had lived, which is like a little away from the main community, and how he had served the deities there of, I think it's Lord Jagannath, and was it Lord Jagannath? No? Radha Vrindavan. This is a long time ago, so I don't remember properly, and I was not there at that house. I was only in the main temple. So, she was saying that Maharaj was living there in winter, and it was so snowed in that house that the supplies were needed for the worship of the deities were only brought like once a week to there, and Maharaj just faithfully and served and lovingly served the deities there, and was quite contented. And he was always telling how wonderful he was also cooking. He was famous for his sandesh, making sandesh and other sweets for the Lord. And she was saying how he is so simple and humble. She was remembering that. And when I was in Bombay, I was allowed to live in the temple itself, and on what is now, there were some rooms there on the upper porch, and when Maharaj would come from the temple hall, he would come by my room, and when I was reading, sometimes I would just leave the door open, so Maharaj would stop and ask me how I am, and immediately it was striking me how humble Maharaj is, and always inquiring about which I hadn't about my welfare, and which I hadn't so much experience with other God brothers. So I was very immediately struck by his kindness, humility, and I wanted to somehow serve, but then I'm feeling myself incapable of doing that. The only thing I'm always, just like when Prabhupada says, in the beginning also of the movement, he was always saying, whatever you have a realization of, that you should speak on. So I'm always speaking Maharaj to my other God sisters about his extraordinary qualities, about what he's speaking in the classes, the wonderful community he has created, and I know that just by hearing about a pure Vaishnava, it gives immense shelter to all the devotees, and courage and shelter to the devotees. So my little offering that I've written is also for the glorification of Maharaj. Please kindly accept it. It is an offering in prose, not rhyming, a little poem and kind of. You invited me onto the boat, being a caring brother and friend. Looking around on the deck, I see a wonderful crew of men, women and children, a loving family. The boat is taking off, and the journey is very long, but you are prepared, being the captain. I'm watching you directing daily some young men and women how to expertly ply the boat just to catch the favorable breezes. Then heavy rains are coming, but you encourage everyone by saying, "This storm will come and go, hold on." Now again the sun is shining, making the beautiful hair of the woman glitter as she is sitting on the cliff at the shore, combing it. Men, women and children, spellbound, watching the fascinating creature, desiring to meet and talk to her. But here comes the warning call. Don't be fooled, she's a witch. Don't ply any closer, lest the boat will shatter on the cliff as many before. Many glorify you as an expert captain, but you humbly indicate to the picture on the flag of the mast, this is actually the famous captain, my father and teacher, the owner of the boat, and he comes from a long lineage of famous captains. The boat is stopping, and some of your dear brothers and sisters are coming to visit you on the journey. Everyone is coming to meet them, anxious to get to know them. The following days are becoming like wonderful festivals, and we almost forget that we are on the ocean. One day, though, a foolish person is jumping into the waves, wanting to swim on his own. Highly alarmed, you're throwing out the rescue ring with a rope, pulling him back again. There comes the harbor, and one person has to depart. Some are crying and some are smiling thoughtfully, thinking this person to be very fortunate to have reached his destination, and you look on wisely. Once again a wonderful festival is held. One young man and woman are appointed to work together on a special project on the boat. All are sharing the happiness and good fortune of the two, working under the guidance of the good captain. The boat, with its happy crew and captain, are becoming famous, and as they stop at various harbors, more and more people are coming to take part in the journey. Just see, the boat seems to expand, almost becoming unlimited. As the boat is plying along the smooth ocean, one insignificant member of the crew is praying to always be called upon for the service by the servants of the captain, who is the representative of his father, the famous captain, feeling herself very fortunate to be on the boat with such a nice family until she reaches a final destination. Your insignificant servant, Nataki Devi Dasi.
Maharaj, I may be a senior devotee, but really the devotees, my God brothers, which I am seeing here, if I can become their servant by your mercy, I will feel my life will be successful. Just now, when Krishna Chandra Prabhu offered padukas, at that time he came little away, and I wanted to take those padukas in hand. And you asked me, call Krishna Chandra Prabhu, and you have given to him. Day before yesterday night, I had a dream. In the dream, I saw myself and Sahadev Das, and I was feeling that actually I can't do any service. But if I can serve Krishna Chandra Prabhu, and that I was telling to Sahadev Das, I think I will be able to please Maharaj. Maharaj, your personal approach to the devotees is so deep, because last month when I was in I know you are so busy, but somehow or other I wanted to get in, and I said, Maharaj, 2 minutes time. And in 2 minutes time, we were there for about an hour and more than that. But I say, Maharaj, I want to talk to you something, the legal thing, somehow or other, with your instruction, because this legal profession is such a profession, it is like a mode of ignorance work which I have to do. It's not a work for the gentleman actually in this. That's why you will not find a single good lawyer in the movement. But that's your instructions, so I have to follow. And that is your first instruction to me, that you have to serve Prabhupada movement, do. And I cannot be humble. I have been put in such a situation where all the time, GBC chairman, Guru, this, GBCs, and so many people all the time. And I have to talk so many things. So I'm coming to the point, I came to your office. And you know how personal Maharaj is, though he says only 2 minutes. Half an hour he talked to me about my daughter. How she is doing. You see, for that, that's half an hour. You see, this is the way Maharaj wins the heart of the people. At the time when Gopi Vallabh Prabhu's disappearance day, actually, this great people take birth on 7th of December. The Gopi Vallabh Prabhu was also born on the same day. And at that time, what Maharaj spoke, 300 devotees in the temple were crying. What Maharaj said about Gopi Vallabh Prabhu, that what I am preaching to the people, all of you, actually he has applied his life, and by his disappearance, he has shown how we should live our life. He was below 30. He was in few years in the movement. But how deep, you Maharaj, you said, I thank you very much. By your life and in your departure from this world, you have very much fulfilled my mission to my Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. I can honestly say, these are Maharaj words, that someone has taken this message which we have delivered as their heart and soul, and they left this world as a glorious servant. Gopijan Vallabh Prabhu, I thank you very much. Again Maharaj said, I will speak with all honesty that Gopijan Vallabh Prabhu sincerely embodied what I have been giving my life to try to teach all of you. To have a disciple that I could say that about is a great honor. He has rendered unlimited, unimaginable service to Srila Prabhupada mission because he represents what each and every one of us in our entire society desperately need to understand with the core of our heart. I eternally grateful to him. Maharaj, I don't know when I will be able to do any service like that or like this which Gopi Vallabh Prabhu has done. Actually, some devotees were talking afterwards what people talk about somebody. That is actually life is the preparation and death is examination. What people will talk afterwards. How I can become that humble, which is impossible for person like me, because as Sachinandan Maharaj was last week was telling that even a great person was in Himalaya under the snow, but when he came back on his mat, he was fighting for his seat. So humbleness, samsara vairagya. We talk, or I may talk big lecture, preach, but that humbleness, because of the false ego, is like a samsan vairagya. I feel sometimes I am trying to become humble, but the heart, in my heart actually, is not at all, is far away. So my only desire is, Maharaj, that by serving serving my God brothers, one day I may reach or I may get that causeless mercy which I am not fit, but one day I am sure that by following your instructions of my God brothers, I may reach to that situation to satisfy you and serve you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mahaprabhu.
My dear Radhanath Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. On this very auspicious day, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to Lord Krishna for arranging to send you to Radha Gopinath Mandir and to you for accepting me as your disciple. Through your lectures in Bhagavatam class, you constantly convey messages which are meant to build up character, unity amongst disciples, dedication, conviction in the holy name, and rectify our faults. Your wonderful instructions before every yatra begins brings devotees in the right state of consciousness, and everybody gets mentally prepared to undergo austerity and to put up with any inconvenience in the proper mood. Thus, you have built up a nice group of dedicated devotees, and I am happy to have the association of such wonderful, sincere devotees. You have tried to create a nice Vrindavan atmosphere in the altar of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath temple. The Kadamba tree has been planted in the garden with reverence and devotion because it's dear to Radha and Krishna, to add to the Vrindavan atmosphere. Preaching is spreading in so many places all over the globe, with the result that you are away from Mumbai too often. In a higher sense, there is no question of separation, but I have not reached that platform of understanding such high philosophy, and I often dread that the day may soon come when we'll hardly get your darshan. I know I have no talents, nor am I an expert in any field. It's just that you are mercifully tolerating any small service. Serving you in any capacity to your satisfaction and making you happy by my service will be the fulfillment of my life's goal. I hope and pray that I have the wisdom to seize any opportunity that I get to serve you above all material considerations. I hope nothing whatsoever comes between me and any service that you may want me to do. Your unworthy servant, Tulsi Manjari.
Thank you. And especially having a lot of interest in management and leadership skills, I've been trying to understand, rather see you and see some of the qualities that you possess. For years and years I've been trying to fathom very unsuccessfully what is that sweetness in your personality, from where it comes, how it comes. I say I've been unsuccessful because the source of your inspiration is so limitless, so inexhaustible, so incessant, it is yet so complete. But still I have been trying to figure out. One day I asked you, I said, Maharaj, when you are in America, do you take some time off sometimes and attend some of the management seminars of leadership skills of some of the most sought after management gurus in America? So Maharaj looked at me, he replied, he said, Raghunath Prabhu, all I learnt in New Vrindavan was how to worship the deities and how to milk the cows. And that inimitable laughter, the childlike enthusiasm and the sparkling in the eyes, it was really wonderful. That day really my faith was further strengthened. I said, yes, these are things which no management gurus and no books can teach. Those things you have. And among the ocean of qualities that you have, there are few I would like to really point out, because it's almost impossible to, because he has such immeasurable qualities, it's impossible to even try to say all of them. What really comes to my mind is your capacity to motivate and empower people. That's really something very amazing. Also, in your dealings, there is genuine truthfulness and consistency. And one other thing that comes to my mind is your people skills, your understanding of basic human nature, as Mahaprabhu just pointed out. I would say you are a human relationship guru. You have not invested in big properties, you have not invested in big facilities, but you are investing in people. That is something very amazing. In fact, to just get a cue of how your mind really works, I was with you one time and we were trying to remember some incident, some unsavory incident that happened a few years ago. And you said, Raghunath, I'm sorry I can't remember. Somehow my mind just doesn't accept things which are not proper. If there is something bad that has happened, try as I may, I cannot remember that. My mind it just refuses to accept any bad things. And this came out very candid. It was not a, preconceived sort of dialogue. It just came out of Maharaj. And I said, give me another insight of how Maharaj will only remember things that are Krishna conscious and what are connected to dovetailing his propensities to serve Srila Prabhupada, and nothing else. Nothing else even comes to his mind. Another thing that I remember, I was sitting with him and with five mouths he was trying to praise all the brahmacharis of Radha Gopinath Mandir and all the grihasthas in our congregation. And out of utter humility, he said, Raghunath, I cannot even compare with one of these people. So you can understand, he's a fountainhead, he's a source who's giving inspiration to all, and he's saying that I cannot compare with the brahmacharis and the grihasthas of. So there is the utter genuine humility which attracts all people towards you, Maharaj. That's the sweetness of your personality. And I also wonder how you get so much time for everything, Maharaj. I've been trying to understand time management. I can't figure out You have so many things to do, and yet you are continuously relating to people, motivating them, inspiring them, energizing them. And I've never seen you rush through. I never see you in anxiety or you're rushing through. When you talk to a person, you speak as if that's the only purpose of your life. That you are not worried about anything else. This is the sweetness with which you really attract the hearts and minds of souls. Also, being an administrator servant of your project, there are times when we meet you and then there are doctors and we have to sit down and there are some situations and circumstances that you have to talk about. And I wonder in my mind, let's see now what Maharaj is going to say. Because everything that he wanted to say about this has already been said. How is he going to enthuse this time? How is he going to bring the proper perspective and the proper priorities in the forefront? And truly, Maharaj, every time we deal, even if the problem has been repeated, you always give a fresh insight, a fresh way of looking at things to inspire people. Even if, you may feel that all things that could have been said by reading scriptures have already been said. But you always have that very fresh perspective about everything, which really makes people understand that yes, we didn't think about this before. So these are some of your very wonderful qualities, and we are grateful. I am personally very indebted and grateful to you for all your inspiration and your love and attention that you have given me. And it's also time to renew my vows, affirm my faith and commitment to your mission. Thank you very much for being what you are, Maharaj. Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Raghunath Prabhu. And before Madan Mohan Prabhu begins,
at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. We consider ourselves extremely fortunate to come in contact with a pure soul like you, and are eternally grateful to you for having given shelter at your lotus feet for fallen souls like ourselves. We beg for you to continue showering your mercy on us and help us to serve you and the Vaishnavas in whatever way you feel fit. Kindly forgive our offenses, and please pray that we can constantly engage in remembering Krishna with love and devotion and serving the devotees. Your servants, Madan Mohan Das and Radhika Rani Devidas.
You are the savior of my soul. To take us back to Godhead is your only goal. Tirelessly you preach day and night, guiding your disciples from darkness to light. Lord Chaitanya's mission to spread the holy name, you have taken seriously, desiring no fame. The need is very dire, so spreading like fire, you send your commandos to reach out to friends and foes. Armed with your blessings and with holy tidings, marching they go, seed of bhakti they sow, left and right, day and night, Nasik, Kolhapur, Satara and Belgaum, making every place a holy dham. Come, come, one and all, making this a clarion call. Cut the bondage of this world asunder, take shelter of this great commander.
Dear Radhanath Maharaj, Maharaj, you have been totally blessed by Krishna with a very deep sense of Krishna consciousness and a deep attraction for it. And ever since that I have known you over 15 years, I cannot recall even a moment when you have not demonstrated this sheer joy and taste for Krishna consciousness that really, permeates through you and radiates in you, and that's really the source of your effulgence, your attraction, your attractiveness to everyone. That because you are being so sincere to Srila Prabhupada, that you want every moment of your life to be dedicated to please him, and allowing yourself to be the transparent via media. So it really struck me just some time ago that whatever you say when you preach to us and you explain to us about the Krishna conscious philosophy, and you give examples of what Prabhupada said, the amazing thing is that that everything that we want to imagine or we try to conceive, it becomes very easy for us because we actually see it, we see these qualities in you. And it struck me that that is precisely why Srila Prabhupada's glorious disciples could do so much to change the world. It's because Srila Prabhupada, in the same way, demonstrated exactly as a living model of whatever he was saying as what a Vaishnava should be, what servant of Srimati Radharani should be. And his disciples did not need any theoretical conception or any kind of imaginary model. They could see, without being told, that here by Krishna's arrangement Srila Prabhupada was, and just following him would make everything very clear. So it was this, to the extent that his devotees have been sincere, to that extent they have been successful. And in the same way you are trying to help us in being so transparently sincere. You have given a very simple definition of what sincerity means. I mean, you can say it in so many ways, but just by literally following everything that Srila Prabhupada wants, just trying to see what would please him. For instance, keeping the importance of Bombay city, we have read also in Prabhupada's books how much importance he kept for Mumbai. And there was a reason behind it, because Prabhupada's method of pleasing Krishna, spreading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, was to really go to the essence of the industrial world of, or the way the commercial capital of India was. And he knew that India could then, in course of time, lead the entire world. And the same way, following his instructions, you put so much emphasis, much beyond anybody here, or certainly myself, could even conceive or even imagine as to why so much importance. There was nothing to offer here. And what you have transformed, I mean, when you see, when I say Mumbai, it is of course, I would say all the centers of Maharashtra and beyond, that now maybe numbering almost 20, are really in the spiritual sense, the heart of Radha Gopinath Mandir. And that's because of your vision and your steadiness in wanting to please Prabhupada moment to moment, that we now see that devotees, to the extent that they are themselves wanting to please you, to that extent, and they allow themselves to please you, to that extent they are making spiritual progress. And just seeing the vibrancy and the joy of everyone, it's a clear reflection of how wonderful it is. Also, when you were speaking about recently about Jayananda Prabhu and glorifying his, like you have done of so many of your god brothers, I think everybody could see that so many of Jayananda Prabhu's just incredible qualities we were actually seeing it in front of eyes. When you were wanting to please Srila Prabhupada, you have always been trying to become everyone's humble servant. And as we heard that Jayananda Prabhu led such a life that all those who came in contact with him, his friends, even the associates, people in the fisherman's wharf, in the worst areas, people who wouldn't even want to associate with, many, many years later also they would still remember and proudly say that I knew him and I was his friend. In the same way, we see that people who come in contact with you, and from my own personal experience, some of the most difficult people that I have dealt with maybe in my relations or in my friend circle, or when I see them, I see the transformation in them when they come to you. It's just because they see the sincerity and your desire to be their well-wisher. So just following Srila Prabhupada's dictum to the core has been really your driving force, and we are very grateful for that. There was one very, very beautiful incident that I was fortunate enough to see, a very small one, but the very first yatra that you undertook in 1986, in December 86, we went for 3 or 4 days to Vrindavan, and when we went to Barsana on that Sunday, we were about 40 at that time, and we went to all the temples, and then finally at about 4 in the afternoon, nobody had any prasad or anything, and nobody had ever been, first of all, to Barsana. I had not even heard of a place called Barsana till that day. And when we went, then we came to some place which was completely a small village, and few places, in the kind of mountainous region. Few huts were there, and we had landed in Panditji's house, and near his house, and he has his family and his relatives were there. They did not even know us. They did not know that you were coming. Of course, what was amazing, because you needed someone to speak a little Hindi, so you asked me to come with you. And here was some family which didn't know that there was a group of 40 hungry people, and they were obviously extremely materially poor, that we could see. So when we went there, and first of all when they saw you, it was such a revelation seeing how much love and joy they have, because most of the family members don't even speak English. And yet I could understand that for 15 or 16 years before that, from the time you went to Vrindavan, the kind of relationship that they built, purely because they saw you as one of the true lovers of Rajdam and representing the kind of the qualities that they really worship. The kind of reciprocation they showed, it just was so wonderful. It was just like a family member coming after a long time. Now it was 4 in the afternoon, and then you asked me to tell them that we have 40 people, and is there something to feed them? And the kind of spontaneity which they showed, it was something which was remarkable. I think we must have consumed their entire year's stock of whatever they had in the house. It was obvious, because we didn't even stop to think. And the way they were feeding us, it was just a reflection. Not, of course, it's a great credit to them, but also it was a reflection of the love which they had for Maharaj and the respect they had for him. And from then I could see that how people are giving, they're very happily giving whatever they have, and you are very intelligently channeling it in Krishna consciousness. And that has been your prime motive, that whatever you can do, you always dovetail it with Krishna consciousness. That is why you have so much loving sentiment, but you are never sentimental. You have so much, you're so liberal, gentle, kind, compassionate with us, but you're so strict with yourself, so that you put such an example for us that we don't have to, we would be ashamed to even, to not try to at least be a little bit strict with us. So you have never demanded, you've always commanded respect, because you have been what you are. Another example of how you can impact so many people. I mean, this is again a very small incident, but on the other extreme. Just a few months ago, once you were coming down we were coming down the steps of my residence, and we were waiting for the car to come. And up the stairs, my aunt was coming up, the one who stays on the 4th floor. The specialty of this is that that family has not been speaking terms with us for about 15 years or 18 years now. And not only that, but for them it's their life's mission to see that anything that goes wrong with us, they would like to try. And I was wondering, I said, now this lady is coming up and Maharaj is standing here, and so I was a little awkward, because we don't even exchange smiles or glances. She looks the other way, we look the other way, and so on. And Maharaj blissfully just gives such a dazzling smile, just like he gives to anyone on the street. And I was absolutely shocked, when I saw that this lady, she has such a look of frown and anxiety and hatred. There's all a combination of things perpetually. it just melted, and her face just turned into such a young, she was probably put 20 years back, and she was so relieved. Instantly, she couldn't help just reciprocate, and she just smiled. And that was, again, this is a fleeting moment that I could see that I don't think she could have even controlled it. If she could, she may have tried to, but it was just that her real self actually came out when someone touched her heart. So this must be happening millions of times to so many people around the world, wherever you go. And again, it's only because of your such a deep, deep desire to please Srila Prabhupada, and through that to please the Parampara and Krishna. And therefore I would just I would like to pray that I could try to help you in any way I can, because you make pleasing you such an easy thing, because you are never demanding, you never have any expectations, so everybody wants to serve you. And normally one has to talk of some very lofty goals and important devotional service, and one would think that probably great austerities are needed. But here, pleasing you somehow make it the simplest thing, because of very few, your expectations are for yourself are never there. So therefore we may overstep our own boundaries, and we may commit many offenses. At least I certainly have, and you have. I would hope that you would please forgive me for that. But I would pray that at least you would please continue to guide me, that I could help you, and in that way see that we could be a part, continue to play a part in Srila Prabhupada's movement. Thank you.
Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Maharaj. It is explained that we cannot understand the book Bhagavat without the medium of the person Bhagavat. And the person Bhagavat is a person who is living, speaking Bhagavat, who is living his life exactly according to the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The two are inseparable. Srila Prabhupada in one interesting purport mentions that human reason fails to understand how, by the association of the person Bhagavat, one can make swift advancement in devotional service. Truly, if by worldly analysis one were to try to understand what you have accomplished, then one will definitely fail. Who can understand what mysterious and mystical things have been happening at Radha Gopinath Mandir? I don't mean that some people are flying in the air or that some people are able to sleep on nails, but something far more superior and sublime has been happening over the years. And this has happened because you have been there steering the course of events for the last so many years and transforming the lives of so many people. Not many devotees perhaps are aware of what the situation was in this temple, in this center many years ago. There was only one room, one little room. There was no temple. What is presently the temple was some commercial establishment. And in this one room was a temple and the brahmachari ashram and everything. And this little room was just across the compound from where the Mataji's room is presently. So now of course it is covered. And when Maharaj used to come from America, then he would stay in that little room along with the brahmacharis and whoever else was staying there. And many others used to come and stay there. So from those austere beginnings, Maharaj has steered the course to this wonderful situation right now. But never at any moment did Maharaj expect any special comforts or any kind of special facilities for himself. He was always comfortable and satisfied living in whatever condition that destiny put forward before him. And because of his simplicity and detachment in love, therefore he has been able to transform the lives of so many people. Untold austerities, physical and mental, have been gone through.
It is not easy to understand what tribulations he has gone through in his efforts to bring up the congregation of devotees to the level that it has come now. It calls for supreme sacrifice. And Maharaj, you have made that supreme sacrifice and you are continuing to make it. However, in the midst of all these wonderful things, there is one little problem that remains. There is one particular devotee in the midst of these wonderful flower-like devotees who are blossoming, and this thorn-like devotee is still hovering around disobediently at your lotus feet. So it is only his prayer that you may somehow accommodate him in your heart, however painful it may be. I fervently pray to Sri Radha Gopinath that they may bless you with good health so that we can celebrate very shortly, or rather in 50 years, your 100th appearance anniversary. Thank you very much. Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki.
Guru Maharaj, I want to thank you for your kindness and tolerance you have shown towards me. Gurudev, you are an ocean of causeless mercy and friend of the fallen souls. For last 14 years, you have been showering your causeless mercy upon me without any of my qualification. As a loving mother selflessly keeps on doing everything for the child, you have always been doing that for me. Sometimes the mother chastises the child for the benefit of the child. You also have helped me in that way, and I am very, very grateful to you for that. I would like to narrate a few such incidences. We were staying in Vrindavan, and you had come to stay in the month of Kartik. You were fasting that whole month. You would have only one meal, and that was khichdi. By your mercy, I got a chance to do that service. But one day, I made khichdi which turned out very watery. That day, I also put some peanuts, foolishly thinking it will give you some proteins and some strength. Because you were eating only once. After prasad, you called for me, and transcendently you got upset with me. And you told me that you will cook yourself and I don't need to cook for you. And I felt that was the end of my life. Then I wrote a letter to you and begged forgiveness, and you kindly allowed me to cook for you again as if nothing had happened. Also at that time, there was some carpenter work going on in the ashram, and there was dust everywhere. Also there was dust on the plate in which we were going to serve you prasad. So you told us that if we are serving you like this, then how we must be serving other guests. So this way you taught us how to serve each and every guest with great respect, attention and care. Once when you were staying in Bhaktivedanta Hospital for treatment, I got a chance to cook for you again for almost 6 weeks. In that period, once again I made some mistake in cooking, and you very kindly called me up at my residence and corrected me. I felt very guilty that I did not serve you properly, and I felt I will lose my chance of cooking for you. But you kindly allowed me to cook and encouraged me by your consoling words. I am very grateful to you for considering me worthy for correcting me and guiding me. As the mother holds the hand of a child and teaches and guides in every small thing, you have guided me in my life. But I am a fool and the least intelligent of all, and that's why I keep committing mistakes again and again. But Maharaj, please don't give up on me. Your mercy is my only hope. In the situation of my sickness, which was supposed to be materially very grave and painful, so many devotees came and helped me. They were so eager to help me just because of your inspiration, training and guidance. Personally, you sent so many inspiring letters encouraging me to see the things in the light of Krishna consciousness. You showed so much concern for me in so many ways. To summarize, the most painful condition of my life was turned into truly a most blissful only by your causeless mercy.
To discuss the details of today's programs with the service authorities and some of the counselors. And my god brothers and god sisters who were present there almost ordered me that I should be more verbose and speak out of my realization, since I spent so much time with Maharaj for my service. What came to my mind at that time was an incident or a piece of information which Sachinandan Maharaj gave us a few days back. This was at Radha's and Mukunda's wedding when we were waiting in the reception on the turf club. He told us that to get the mercy of a pure devotee is all it takes to make spiritual advancement. And he narrated the story of a jackal that happened to come in contact with Srimati Radharani at the Radha Kunda. And when she felt something touching her feet, she just asked, "Kaun Sakhi? Which Sakhi is this?" Because Radharani just thought about this person being a Sakhi, this jackal was given admittance into this very intimate circle of hers as a Sakhi. So Sachinandan Maharaj went on to say that we should never lose the opportunity of coming in contact with pure devotees, because that will help us advance in our Krishna consciousness. And I was thinking in my mind, well, this is very easy for me. I come in contact with Radhanath Swami Maharaj so many times a day, and I'm sure Maharaj, Sachinandan Maharaj read my mind. He immediately said, "But Radha Krishna Prabhu, there is one important thing we must remember. There may be a tap which is open and the water may be running. We may keep the bucket under the tap, but if there are holes in the bucket, we will not collect any water." And I immediately realized my situation. He said, the holes in our heart, which are created by lust, greed, pride, envy, they will not allow us to collect any mercy which is flowing from this open tap. So we have to plug these holes. And I realized that this is what is coming in my way. Coming in contact with a pure devotee is not enough. I have to also make very serious efforts to improve my condition by plugging these holes. But since I do come in contact with Maharaj so much, I also observe so many things which are his wonderful qualities. He has always put people before projects. For him, caring for an insignificant devotee is more important than building a multi-crore temple. He is a friend to all. I have read somewhere that in order to make friends, you must be a friend. No wonder he has so many friends, because he himself becomes a friend to everyone. Recently, Atmananda Prabhu had come to a temple. And he met me in Vrindavan. Nimai Pandit Prabhu from Italy brought him to our place, and he said that Atmananda Prabhu would like to visit Bombay. Is Radhanath Maharaj there? He would like to meet him. And Atmananda Prabhu told me he is my very old friend. I have heard this from innumerable people. They refer to Maharaj as their wonderful old friend. Atmananda Prabhu related to me the incidents that first Maharaj met him, I think it was Denmark, and that was a very brief meeting. And after that, after 10 years, Atmananda Prabhu happened to go to New Vrindavan, and Radhanath Maharaj saw him from the back and recognized him that this is Atmananda Prabhu. He was really so much indebted to Maharaj for having remembered him, and that is what makes friends. I have seen this happen in our own temple. There are devotees who come for the first time. Some of them have not met or seen Maharaj before. They spend a couple of days at the temple, and when they are leaving, they behave as if they have known Maharaj for decades of years. And he becomes their permanent friend. Another quality is that Maharaj is very much concerned about the details of everything. He doesn't do anything superficially or mechanically. This morning, before we came here, Maharaj wanted to plant a kadamba tree. And to most of us, this would be a simple thing. The hole is already dug, the tree is already there. Put it, pour some water, and that's it. But what do you think happened? There were 3 trees to choose from. So, with his meticulousness, he went into the detail of finding out from the person who had brought this tree from the nursery which tree would be better to plant. One was 7 feet tall, 3 years old. The second one was 5 feet tall, 2 years old. And the third one was 1.5 feet tall, 1 year old. Maharaj went into the intricate details, and he had myself and Sanat Kumar Prabhu translate his questions and the answers of this person who had brought the trees from the Nasik nursery. And only when he was fully satisfied, one thing we understand, and this thing even this person who brought the trees and perhaps met Maharaj for the first time today understood. When Maharaj kept on repeatedly asking him, which tree should we plant? Finally he said, the one which you like. We have also experienced this many times. Whether we should go to Vrindavan or whether we should go to Badrinath, there are so many votes taken, retaken, counted, recounted, and then we just say, Maharaj, we'll go wherever you want us to go. Reminds me of the story from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's stories. We don't like the brinjal, we don't like the potato. We like what you like. Thank you, Maharaj.
Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, we read your wonderful and thought-provoking offering to Srila Prabhupada on his disappearance day on October 31st, 2000 in flesh. Through this offering of yours, we could understand, as far as our little brains could think, your mood of serving Srila Prabhupada. How close to your heart is the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and how selflessly you love Srila Prabhupada that he came into your dreams during that particular period. Maharaj, when we do little seva for our Guru Maharaj or for the mission of Srila Prabhupada, we think how wonderful and great we are. Externally, we try to make a show of humility but internally we are proud. We want others to shower praise on us, and we want the whole world to sing our glories. Maharaj, when will our hearts be clean of these impurities of pride, prestige, and self-glory? When will we dream about you, Maharaj? Please bestow your mercy on this auspicious day on all of us in order to serve you and Srila Prabhupada with genuine humility and sincerity, aspiring to be the servants of a servant. Jayadev Das, Satyavati Devidasi, Bhakta Gauram.
Chaitanya Charitamrita. Once when all the Vaishnavas headed by Advaita Acharya were glorifying Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very upset. And when he was trying to express it to Shivas Thakur was moving his hand in the direction of sky. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked what he was doing, he explained that I am trying to cover the sun with my hand. And he explained to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as the sun cannot be covered with the hand, your supremacy as a supreme Lord cannot be covered. Similarly, Maharaj, although you are trying to behave like an ordinary person, your transcendental devotional qualities cannot be covered. Gurudev, whenever I turn back and see the years I am in ISKCON, I find that I have not achieved anything in terms of the serving attitude and humility, as I am full of pride and envy. Guru Maharaj, whenever I remember the mercy and love you have given to me, and also the valuable time you have spent for me, although I am not worth of it, I am really grateful to you for all these things from the core of my heart, for always guiding me on the path of spiritual life as my dearest spiritual master, my spiritual mother and spiritual father. But Maharaj, I really feel very sorry as I am not at all able to fulfill any of your expectations. Whenever I see all your disciples and those who are aspiring to be your disciples, I feel very insignificant in all respects. O Gurudev, I pray at your lotus feet to keep me always in the cooling shade of your lotus feet and kindly empower me to distribute the loving care you have bestowed upon me to all the devotees and everyone I meet. Thank you very much, and we offer humble obeisances from all the Kolhapur devotees. Your servant Chowpatty Devidas.
Occasion, beg your blessings so that I can chant properly the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I remember once one of the devotees from Kolhapur had written a letter just a month before Gurudev's Vyaspuja, as I would like to offer you some gift for Vyaspuja. So what would be the best gift? I remember it distinctly because it's a typed, computer printed letter. And Guru Maharaj replied that the best gift you can offer to me is to chant the holy name with faith, attention and humility. So all of us should try to please the spiritual master. Of course, offering flowers and all this, very nice. But really what will please Maharaj, along with all this is to chant with faith that Krishna is not different from his name, and attention and humility as Maharaj always emphasizes. So I beg Gurudev and all the devotees so I can also learn. At the insistence of Govind Prabhu, I'll try to tell you something, no offense. Recently I was with Maharaj to Vrindavan for a couple of days, and Maharaj was explaining, many of you try to serve Maharaj personally, so Maharaj is explaining what the position is being a servant. So Maharaj explained that there are 4 kinds of miseries. Usually we hear 3, but this is new Shastra. So, the 4 types of miseries are Adhyatmik, everybody knows, Adhibhautik, Adhidevik and Adhidasik. Misery caused by the servant. So in the place where Maharaj is supposed to stay, so we needed 2 rooms, one of course for Maharaj and the other for myself and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. So Maharaj was told that the 2 rooms are far away. So he said, that is very good. when I heard Krishna Chandra Prabhu's offering about the devotees of Barsana, I was reminded of another incident. Oftentimes Maharaj uses me in his service to translate, which is something a good for nothing can do. So he said that one Panditji, as you all know, very great Vaishnava and very good friend of Maharaj. So we went to meet him, and that was the time when the parikrama was going on. Their parikrama, after our last Vrindavan Yatra and Naimisharanya Yatra. So he saw us coming, and he was just taking bath, and he said, "Oh, welcome." And then afterwards he was talking to Maharaj and said, "Oh, previously you were a sadhaka, aspiring devotee, sadhaka. Now you have become a siddha purusha." That means one who is perfected. So Maharaj, in a loving way, replied, "Now you have become a city purusha." But actually, wherever Maharaj is, he is always chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And as Krishna Chandra Prabhu so nicely explained, that the Brajabasis, they love him so much that actually we cannot understand. They are at such high levels of devotion, and so is Maharaj. So sometimes he may not understand, but like I was asked to translate, and one of the Mataji was tell him that he should come out of this Maya and come and stay in Barsana. So Maharaj has such deep love and affection, and actually even without their exchanging words, because they both have deep love for Radha and Krishna. So I beg at his, prostrated at his lotus feet, and beg that I can develop some love for the devotees and then for Radha Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Barsana Dham ki jai. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Dasanudas Krishnan Prabhu ki jai. So before Premdila Mataji begins her off.
All glories to you in your service to your spiritual master and to the world. On this auspicious day, I beg for your mercy so that I can remain under the shadow of your lotus feet forever. Maharaj, every year I eagerly wait for this blessed day so that I can express my heartfelt gratitude and mercy showered upon this insignificant servant of yours. It is because of your purity you are able to satisfy all of us with your affection and expert dealings. You are like the 6 Goswamis, loved by everyone because you are compassionate, impartial, non-envious, fully devoted and wise. Maharaj, regarding your compassion, I would like to say something. You had nicely engaged me in this service, serving Krishna Chandra Prabhu and Radha Priya Mataji in this marriage board. During this course of marriages, you had told us, please consider 2 matters. One, you should see that you should consider all these girls as your daughter, and before thinking of any match for them, you should think twice whether you'll offer your daughter to such a such person. You also said your service doesn't end over here. You should see that they all are happy. Maharaj, honestly, we don't have this compassion. But I beg for this compassion so that I can serve you sincerely. Willingly or unwillingly, everybody is your servant. We have voluntarily become your servant. This is because of your loving, patiently nurtured and watered the Bhakti Lata Bij in our heart. Though I have committed so many mistakes and offenses, you are always lovingly guided and encouraged me to help in your service to your Guru, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada took his Guru's instruction to spread the holy name. With that same compassion, you gave shelter to all of us. You, as a true servant, gave your body, mind and soul to your Guru Maharaj's mission, without caring for your health. As a servant, it is my duty to serve you. But because of my independent nature, I have been rebellious. Still you have tolerated me. Because of your selfless attitude, Krishna has invested his mercy in you. Like a helpless child, I am begging for that mercy. Though this mercy I know is available, unconditionally, as long as I remain your dependent child, Please help me to come out of this independent nature. Though I have no attraction for the process of devotional service, but I have faith. Just by serving and following your instruction, my shortcomings will be overlooked by Lord Krishna, then I'll be able to serve you eternally. On this auspicious day, Guru Maharaj, I beg for your mercy. Please open my heart, even though I am unqualified, so that I can take shelter of the holy name and get rid of the 6 anarthas, so that I will not continue to be an embarrassment to you. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for everything. Your servant.